Hello, everyone, and
Hello,
welcome.
Kelsey. How's it going?
It is going good. Hello, everyone, and
I
welcome
can't
to.
hear you. Let me try to figure out why that is.
Can you all hear me? I think so.
Maybe my settings.
I think we are going live now. But hello, everyone, and welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling. Welcome to our virtual college fair tonight. We have a lot of fantastic schools here tonight. I am Kelsey, and I will be your facilitator. Just a reminder that your camera and microphone are off, so you are muted, and your video is also off as well, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. But that doesn't mean you can't ask questions, so feel free to use the Q&A button at the bottom to ask any of our presenters any questions at any time. Feel free to sign up for any other sessions on our website, and this recording will be available. All sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC. I will go ahead and turn it over to our schools, and I believe first up we have Chapman University.
All right. Are you good on my screen? I hope. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Marie Berry-Lowe. I'm one of the Associate Directors of Admission at Chapman University and happy to be presenting to you this evening. I want to talk first a little bit kind of generally about Chapman. Chapman's a mid-sized school located in the heart of Southern California. We are in the city of Orange, which is really kind of heart and center of Orange County. We'll talk a little bit more about location in just a few minutes too. Chapman has nearly 11 different schools and colleges that students can choose to study from. There's so many different majors and minors and different combinations of things that you can choose from. Now with that, every student at Chapman is actually required to take classes outside of their general education program as well. So when you are thinking about how you're going to learn and what that environment will look like, you'll be in a smaller size classroom, an average class of about 24 students, certainly jumping into some general education type coursework right from the get-go. We are also getting to jump into your major courses right from the beginning of your first semester of your first year as well. On top of that, Chapman students are also taking classes as part of their GE that are really oriented in kind of a global focus. About half of Chapman students will do a study abroad experience at least once during their time in their 4 years. When you're thinking about other pieces that you might want to add in, we do have an area that we call a themed inquiry. It's like an abbreviated version of a minor. And so every student is required to have at least 4 classes outside that GE and outside of that major that you're studying in a different area, and you can combine that across different schools and colleges. We are a diverse institution geographically. We represent nearly all of the states around the US, 48 of them, in nearly 80 different countries around the world. Chapman's a really community-oriented space. This is a picture actually from our homecoming event a couple of years ago when things were back in person. We have nearly 200 different clubs and organizations on our campus, in addition to D3 athletics, Greek life. About a third of our students are participating in Greek life, and about a quarter of Chapman students are participating in D3 athletic programs as well. When you're looking at location, we are smack dab in the middle of Southern California, as I know many of my other colleagues that are on here are as well. We're right in the center of Orange County. We're in the city of Orange, which has a really nice kind of quaint college town vibe to it. We're about 12 minutes from Disneyland, about 20 minutes to the beaches, about an hour or so south of LA, and about an hour and a half north of San Diego. When you're thinking about this in terms of your fun activities and all of the things you get to do on the weekends and go and explore in other places, there's about 3 blocks between us and our local train station. So you certainly have access to all of those different fun places to go and just explore. And we have a zip car program on our campus too, so it makes it pretty easy for you. But on top of that, in Orange County alone, there's nearly 85,000 different organizations that you might be interning at. Chapman has a really comprehensive career and professional development department that will be assisting you throughout your 4 years. Actually, about 3/4 of Chapman students are doing one internship while they're on our campus, and 91% of them are actually going through and having some sort of culminating senior experience, a senior thesis, a senior research project, something along those lines. Here are a couple organizations that our Chapman students are interning at, being hired at, and heading to as they're looking at their postgraduate plans. Chapman's an institution that with our mid-size allows us to be really nimble and continue to add new spaces and add new programs and other things there as well. We just recently opened up our new Keck Center for Science and Engineering, which has 140,000 square feet of pure science space. And then next fall, we're actually going to be opening up a new dance facility that you can see on the bottom of your screen there. When you're looking at the admission process for Chapman, we want to go beyond just the academic components of your application. We are on the common application and have 2 deadlines for you to apply. November 1st being early action and early decision, January 15th being regular decision. You're looking at this, of course, academics are going to be at the forefront of the admission process for each institution that you're considering, but we also want to get to know you as a student behind all of that as well. And so as you are thinking about all of these next steps, on your screen, you can see a little snapshot of who our admitted student class has been over the last couple of years. Last year, we did decide to go test optional. I will say this has been such a kind of trend and theme over the last year and a half, right, with COVID. And so with this was a decision for us that was actually not related to COVID at all. We've been doing many years of institutional research to look at that next step. And so when you are looking at that and knowing that about 75% of our students applied as test optional and that about 73% of our admitted student class was admitted as test optional, I think that helps as you're thinking about those next steps too. There's so many things that we're taking a look at. Obviously, your courses, how you're doing, courses that relate to certain academic areas of study, how you're performing in other areas outside of your classroom too. So we want to see what you're involved in, any leadership opportunities and things that you're doing, whether part-time jobs, volunteering, all of those other pieces that are coming into play. And then last but not least, of course, financial aid is an important part of the process. Most Chapman students are coming to the university and receiving some type of financial assistance. Every student's automatically considered for merit scholarship, and those range from $12,000 to $36,000. I'll post my contact information in the chat, but thank you all for joining, and I'll pass off to my next colleague.
Awesome, thank you so much. And I believe next up, we have Santa Clara University.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and share my screen. I will say that if my camera and my audio start to lag, in particular my camera, I will turn it off and just dictate the presentation. But my name is Zucel Aguilar, and I'm an Associate Director of Admission here at Santa Clara. In particular, I work with our students that are based in the San Jose area, as well as some international territories in Southeast Asia. So those are my who I most work with. But to give you an overview of Santa Clara, we are located in the heart of Silicon Valley, and some really great benefits come from that. We are a place where people come from all over the world, all over the country to be in, to study at. So you'll get a richness of culture, of diversity, of really getting to know people from all over the world. And so we have about 49 states represented. I think the only state that we don't have a student from is North Dakota. The other 49 states are represented. It's about 55% in-state and the rest are out of state and international, so good balance there. Lots of opportunities for like internships, career placement, especially just located in the area that we're in. And of course, tech is our largest sector, but you absolutely don't have to be a STEM major in order to work within these companies. These are huge multinational corporations that have a for-profit, nonprofit side, that have a research and development team, social media management. So there are places for students to work at no matter your major. If you are wanting to go within the tech sector or not, the Bay Area provides a lot of opportunities for our students for employment. You can see our top employers listed there. Go to the next one. So we are a Jesuit university. Jesuits are an order of Catholic priests that focus on education for social change. There are 3 Jesuit universities in the state of California in particular, and there are 27 in the US. So Jesuits are very focused on how do we educate you to use what you're passionate about, what you're studying in service of the community. So that's our biggest focus. You absolutely don't have to be Catholic to attend. There's not a expectation of attending Mass or anything like that. It's Jesuits very much focus on opening your perspectives. And so that's what we'll do with our core curriculum, along with our 3 religion requirements, which there are 150 classes. You can take whatever you would like. It's completely up to you. We just, again, like to open you up to different ways of viewing the world. We're about 5,500 undergraduate students, so smaller, medium-sized university. We're providing a smaller academic experience with being like a larger school in terms of spirit, involvement, and just like energy really on campus. In terms of the university itself, we have 3 schools within it. So the College of Arts and Sciences is the largest, the Levy School of Business. So College of Arts and Sciences is about 50%, Levy School of Business is about 30%, and School of Engineering is about 20%. You will have to apply to a specific school when you apply to Santa Clara, and you do that on the Common App. So there isn't a secondary option, but you do have to apply into a specific school for your application. Go to the next one. So what do we look at when we're looking at the application? There are academic and non-academic factors. We'll review holistically, as many of my colleagues do as well. So we're going to look at, in terms of academic, your unweighted GPA, the difficulty of your curriculum, and we are test optional for the next 2 years. So test optional for seniors and juniors applying if you're a first-year student. So we are not sure if we're going to make that an indefinite policy. We're still collecting some data points, but we are test optional for at least the next 2 years. The non-academic factors that we're looking at is your letters of recommendation, what you're involved in, and involvements can look different to each student. Sometimes it's the traditional like school-sponsored activities. Sometimes it's working or caring for your sibling while your parents are at work, self-teaching yourself to code. So involvements look different to each person, and then your essay. So those are what we look at. Here's our middle 50%. You don't, it's not like a barrier in order to attend the university. This is just our general averages that we have listed. So in terms of our deadlines, we had one just passed for early action, early decision. That's November 1st. January 7th is our early decision 2 and regular decision. Just be careful with early decision, because that is a binding contract, so you should only apply to 1. We will need the FAFSA and the CSS profile to consider you for a need-based aid, but we don't need it for merit scholarship if that's what you're concerned of. And every student is considered for merit scholarship, no matter the like if you have your FAFSA or the CSS profile, and all we need is your application to the university to consider for merit. And it is competitive at the university. It's only about 10 to like 15% of our students that receive merit scholarship. And if you're looking to transfer, Santa Clara is open for you, whether you want to come as a first-year student or transfer. And that just depends on when you want to start. If you want to start in the winter, if you want to start in the fall, the dates respective to those are listed there. And unfortunately, transfer students aren't considered for merit scholarship, but if you're coming from a Bay Area community college, there is a scholarship for that, and we consider for need-based aid in that. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask a question in the Q&A. If you want to figure out who's your counselor, you can search this web address to figure out who you should reach out to. You're welcome to reach out to me too. I'll put my contact information in the chat. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We will be moving right along. And next up, we have Scripps College.
Thank you. So hi, everyone. My name is Naida Reyes, and I'm one of the assistant directors of admission here at Scripps. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. So we'll go ahead and dive in because I want to make sure I hit the time mark. So a little bit about some quick facts about Scripps. So we are a women's college, but don't let that scare you. We are surrounded by 4 co-ed schools, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Being still a small liberal arts college, we have about 1,000 students on our campus. And similar to my counterparts, we are located in California, specifically Southern California, in a small town named Claremont, which is unofficially known as a city of trees and PhDs. So very much a typical college town in the suburbs, but still having access to large cities like LA, we're going to San Diego, Disneyland, all of those great things that come with being in Southern California. For academics, we are still, again, a small liberal arts college. So our average class size is 16 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 10-1. We're not really known for one specific major. It's kind of just like a variety of academic fields, and it's just most popular majors. So our most popular majors right now are biology, economics, English, politics, psychology, and media studies. I would like to note that the biology major encompasses quite a few of our biology majors. So there's biology, there's organismal biology, molecular biology. So just a heads up about that. And about a quarter of our students will dual or double major, which says a lot because every Scripps student is required to write a senior thesis, which is usually anywhere between a 20 to 100 page paper. So and some of our students are writing too, so it is doable. It is perfect for the students who find themselves naturally curious or ever wondering or going down Wikipedia holes. So, and I think that's just for the students who just actively like to apply their knowledge, and again, who are naturally curious. Being other than a women's college, we also are known for our core curriculum, which is a 3-semester sequence that's only reserved for Scripps students. So the first class you'll ever take in this class is Core 1. And in this class, you'll have 16 to 18 faculty members teaching that year's theme. So right now, our first year students are looking at the theme of truth through different academic lenses. What is the truth? Are we learning the truth? How do we see truth in chemistry, history, politics, dance? And that's the largest class you'll ever take because it's all the new students, but even then that class is broken down to discussion day. Core 2 is more of a focused interdisciplinary course. And the reason why I say focus is because it's no longer 16 to 18 faculty members. Maybe you'll be 2 or 3, but never again 16 or 18. It's a course that you're able to pick from. And Core 3 is more of a project component and really seeing you actively apply this knowledge. And that really goes to the women's college experience. Having a very well-rounded education, but knowing how to apply it after your time after Scripps, especially when in the 1920s. Like I mentioned, we are a women's college, but we are surrounded by 4 co-ed schools. So the moment you cross the street, you're at a different campus. So I like to describe the Claremont colleges as a buy one, get 4 free situation. You are able to have a small liberal arts college experience, but the resources of a large institution. I know one of my Claremont College's partners is here, so I won't share too much about that. But again, the 5C experience is just a perfect opportunity for our students who want to have that balance of both, of maybe a small campus, knowing the intimacy or having the intimacy to know your faculty members, but the resources of a large institution. For campus life, you know, you're only bored in Claremont if you want to be bored because there are 5C events and then there's Scripps specific events. One of my favorite programs that I like to talk about is our Tiernan Fieldhouse. So our Tiernan Fieldhouse, while it is a gym, we don't like to call it a gym because it's focusing on wellness emotionally and physically. So on Thursdays, we have De-Stress Thursdays and thinking about our students' mental health. For study abroad, about 60% of our students will study abroad. We don't have our own programs or partnerships with other schools, so they can vary in terms of what we have to offer for our students, but there's just a variety of programs that our Scripps students can take advantage of. We have access to each other's dining halls in a normal year, so right now we don't. You can go to each other's fitness centers in the Claremont colleges, but also within your own institution. So it's kind of, again, just that perfect balance, but also looking at it through the lens of a women's college experience. Speaking of a women's college experience, I would just also like to recognize that not all of our Scripps students identify as women. Our goal was to serve marginalized gender identities, and that's still our goal and that's still our mission. So thinking about that while also thinking about how it intersects with any of our students' identities. So making sure that there's identity-based organizations at Scripps and the 5Cs, offering first gen at Scripps for the students who are the first in our families, and making sure that students are at the forefront of our conversations about diversity, equity, and inclusion in those initiatives, and making sure that those actions when they are having those conversations with those students. For career planning and career preparation, what I'll just say is that my favorite thing about our career planning and resources office is that within the first month that you're at Scripps, you're going to get an email from that office saying, hi, we really want to meet you. Can you come in? It's just a great opportunity for our students to really familiarize themselves with the resources that are available to them through career planning resources, getting connected with alums, finding internships, finding out about the grants. So rather than having you search for all these things, it's something that's kind of presented to you within the first month. For admission and financial aid, what I'll just say is that we are committed to the holistic approach, and not one part of your application will weigh more than the other. We consider first year students, transfer students, and undocumented students for financial aid. If you are applying for need-based aid, just know that we do offer merit-based scholarships. So regardless if you're applying for need-based aid, you will be considered for a merit-based scholarship that range from $15,000 to $28,000. And for admission, what I'll just really say is that, especially being SAT and ACT optional, we had voted to be SAT and ACT optional before the pandemic had hit. So it's moving completely forward, is that your application is like a pie. Just because you choose to not submit your scores or not take it, it doesn't mean a slice of the pie is missing. It just means each of the slices get bigger. So we still want to get to know you. Your scores are not a determining factor. But if you have any questions, well, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Awesome. That was perfect timing. So thank you very much for that. And we will be moving right along to Whittier College. And I believe he is already set up. So take it away.
Thank you very much, Kelsey. Good evening, everyone. My name is Erasmo Fuentes, and I'm with the Whittier College. Whittier College is a nationally recognized institution of the liberal arts. And I know that for those folks that are doing their research at this moment in terms of searching for that particular school, you may be thinking, what is a liberal arts college? What does a liberal arts college provide in terms of an experience? And a quick 30-second summary, the way we describe the liberal arts at Whittier College is that we hope that our curriculum, our open-ended curriculum, provides you the opportunity to explore all of your academic curiosities. As you are busy exploring, we do hope that you're able to then be able to provide an opportunity for you to connect two and two together. So there's that idea of connection as well. And then ultimately there's that idea of challenge. For us, the way we define challenge is giving you an opportunity to not only challenge yourself academically speaking, but also challenge yourself on the personal landscape. We do hope that our co-curricular activities, which Student Life does a magnificent job in providing our students multiple different opportunities, gives you that opportunity, that challenge to step out of your comfort zone and try something that perhaps maybe you weren't exposed to at your previous school, whether it be a high school or a community college. As a majority of my colleagues here tonight, Whittier College is in the state of California, specifically in Southern California, not too far away from the Claremont colleges and not too far away from Chapman University. We are right in the middle of Los Angeles County and Orange County, about 30 minutes away in either direction puts you either in downtown Los Angeles or in Anaheim, where Disneyland is located. Obviously, it's very, very easy to locate any sort of cool things to do throughout Southern California, but our students are coming to Southern California to develop their professional skills. So we are very happy to see that Career Services at Whittier College has done an exceptional job in connecting our students with local industries that call Southern California home. So we've been able to place a lot of our students with internships at local recording studios, movie studios, with the various sports franchises, with JPL, which is the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is a house by NASA. So again, a lot of opportunities are very much unique to Southern California. And again, by the fact that Whittier College is located in these particular neighborhoods, we are able to say that we've been able to provide our students a pretty good opportunity to connect with these employers. In terms of our academic offerings, as you can see here, we offer over 35 different academic majors. One thing we always highlight about our academic programs is that while yes, we will ask you, what are your top two, your top three intended majors, by no means are we going to be admitting anyone into a specific program or into a specific department. We admit our students as a whole into the college, and then it is up to our students with the help of their faculty advisors to determine which academic path they wish to pursue. If you know 100% that you want to dive into history or into kinesiology as a major, you will definitely have the opportunity to start working on your academic program as early as day one. And then on the flip side, if you come in not knowing what to do, it is perfectly a-okay, as you will not have to declare a major until the end of your sophomore year. We are a small institution like most liberal arts colleges tend to be. We have about 1,700 students. Our average class size is 19, and then the overall student and faculty ratio is 12:1. 100% of all the courses that are taught at Whittier are going to be taught specifically by professors. So there's no such thing as a teacher's assistant, no such thing as a graduate student teaching any of our courses. And in addition to that, all of the different facilities on campus, whether it be the athletic facilities, the research facilities, the library, et cetera, they're meant specifically for our students. So again, there's no need to fight or struggle with, with graduate students in terms of getting into these particular opportunities in these particular facilities. We are an inclusive and residential institution like most liberal arts colleges do tend to be. So our students are expected to live on campus for the first 2 years. If you are coming from a local neighborhood from like about 25 to 30 miles from where Whittier is located, you actually will have the option to either commute or live on campus, but we are seeing a kind of an increase in the trend of more and more students, even our local students, wanting to live on campus. When it comes to student life, we offer an array of different opportunities and different organizations for our students to be involved in. We offer intramural sports. There's a campus radio station, a campus newspaper. We are an NCAA Division III institution. About a third of our students are athletes. We are competing primarily with other small institutions, some of them which are present here this afternoon, in about 22 different athletic programs: water polo, swimming, diving, cross country, track and field. you name it, we probably will offer it. So again, tons of different opportunities to be involved in. We are also a common application school. We have 2 different application decision plans for our students. We have an early action, which is a non-binding deadline, which is coming up in about 2 weeks, which is scheduled for November 15th. And then our regular decision is scheduled for February 1st. It is absolutely free to apply to Whittier College under the common application. We've come to learn that oftentimes the application fee provides somewhat of a challenge or a barrier for most of our students to apply to college. So we decided to completely eliminate the fee. Whittier is also a test optional institution, and we've been test optional and we will continue to be test optional. So when it comes to the application process itself, as most of my colleagues have mentioned tonight, for us, it's all about fit. We take that holistic approach into reviewing our applications. Yes, the academic preparation is in fact very, very important piece of the puzzle, but we are looking beyond test scores. We are looking beyond GPAs. Definitely we want to get to know you on a one-on-one basis. So if at any given point in time you wish to reach out to us and have a discussion about your application, we actually welcome those type of opportunities. We will ask for 2 letters of recommendation, your official high school transcripts, along with any additional supporting documentation that you feel will make an impact on your application. About 90% of our students are qualifying for financial aid and scholarships. And if you have any additional questions, boom, contact us and we'll be more than happy to connect with you folks. Thank you all very much.
Great, thank you so much. We are going to be moving right along, and our next school that we are going to hear from is Pitzer College.
Hi, folks. Thanks for joining. Thank you to the students and parents. I know it's a quick 6 minutes, but I'm going to showcase what separates Pitzer. So Pitzer College, we are located in Claremont, California. We're a small liberal arts school with about 1,100 students. We were founded in the 1960s, really at the height of the civil rights movement, the Chicanx movement in California, hippie culture. So very much when it comes to our core values and what we want to represent as a community, it relates with the social justice lens. So it sounds cheesy, but Pitzer students truly and genuinely want to make the world a better place while also helping improve their community at the same time. So when it comes to Pitzer's academics, we're definitely heavy in the social sciences and humanities. Some of our most popular majors include psychology, media studies, sociology, environmental analysis, political studies. So I love that even some of our most popular majors have an interdisciplinary nature when it comes to our full academic picture. When it comes to kind of the benefits, you had definitely got a sneak peek from my colleague at Scripps when it comes to the benefits of being in the Claremont Consortium. So there's 5 undergraduate schools within 1 square mile. So I think when it comes to, I love the phrase buy one, get 4 free when it comes to your liberal arts experience. You really do get the best of both worlds at Pitzer when you have a tight-knit community while also having the larger college community and resources of roughly 6,000 students. But I think what separates Pitzer specifically within the consortium as well as liberal arts is really our 5 core values. So when it comes to social responsibility, interdisciplinary learning, intercultural understanding, student engagement, as well as environmental sustainability, that is what is the ethos of who we are as a small liberal arts college. So I like to joke that our students are friendly, but our campus is more prickly, and that's because of all the cacti. So it's a very sustainable place. I think when it comes to the lens of social justice, when it comes to academics, personal life, you're going to find that at Pitzer. Just briefly about the location. So here we are in Southern California, roughly about a 40-minute car ride from downtown Los Angeles or about an hour-long train ride. One of my favorite events that students do at Pitzer is called Ski Beach Day, where they go skiing in the morning and then to the beaches in the afternoon, because you can do that in Southern California. I'm originally from Boston, so the nice weather and just how much Southern California has to offer never gets old for me. And then a little bit more about the consortium. So I mentioned the fact that you have the advantage of when it comes to all the academics. As a Pitzer student, you can even major at any of the 5 colleges. So if there is a particular major that maybe you're excited about or find that passion along the way, you can actually take advantage of having that through the consortium and have that count for your Pitzer degree. About a 1/4 of students will even double major and 5% even create their own major. So when it comes to academic flexibility being a part of the consortium, you can never go wrong when it comes down to that. There's also things like 17 different eateries across the campus. So I like to think Pitzer's the best food though, but I think when it comes to just the benefits of over 300 clubs, the resources, affinity groups, health services, safety, you're going to find so many benefits of being a part of the Claremont Consortium. Well, at the end of the day, the average class size is 15 students for you at Pitzer. So you really do get to have that tight relationship with your professors and mentorship at the same time. So I think, like my colleague said, you'd have to be trying to be bored when it comes to how much is happening within the consortium, as well as everything that Southern California has to offer. A little bit more about our core values. So I think when it comes to things like intercultural understanding, it's very important for our students to take advantage of studying abroad, which at least half of our students will do at least once, and you can do it up to 3 times. I think when it comes to social responsibility and how that comes into play for many of our students, they are the activist mindset. They know that we're not a perfect institution. There's always ways to improve. So I think being the youngest of the 5 Claremont colleges, while also having that social justice lens, really allows our students to help shape their own college experience. The type of student that is interested in a school like Pitzer isn't looking for kind of that 4-year experience where they had it in high school, where they're kind of told these are classes that you have to take and be able to have that, where students want the flexibility to take classes that excite them and find new passions and majors along the way, while at the same time being challenged to step outside their comfort zone. So I think when it comes to the Pitzer experience, the 5 core values, hopefully maybe you identify with at least one of them, because we also ask a supplemental question that relates to this experience. My personal favorite is student engagement. I think when it comes to how students come into play at Pitzer, things can change pretty slowly in higher education, but when it comes to Pitzer, we're always looking to evolve as a community. Some of my favorite examples include we were the first school on the West Coast to divest from the fossil fuel industry, which is definitely a hot topic at a lot of colleges. Not that I'm aware to name names, but I think when it comes to Pitzer, students can really enact change due to the fact that we have a shared governance model. So students are on every single governing board here at Pitzer, so whether it be our campus aesthetics committee deciding what murals across campus, to even our COVID task protocol. So when it comes to students really making sure that they have a seat at the table, you have that at a school like Pitzer. So much so, though, even this year, we have become test-free. So we are a test-blind institution for at least the next 3 years. We had already been test optional since 2003. So it's nice to really enact that change, knowing that really kind of the landscape of standardized testing, as well as all the resources that come behind the successes for many students for that. And then lastly is in environmental sustainability. I think by and large, you're going to find a very green campus when it comes to the native drought-resistant plants across campus, to our green spaces, to the dining halls and residence halls for our students to kind of enact a lot of sustainable change that you'll find here. But I think when it comes to the 5 core values, it really is the experience. I know social justice can sometimes be an admissions buzzword at a lot of schools, but I think it really does kind of separate us when it comes to a lot of the liberal arts experiences and within the consortium as well. So I know that has limited time, so I'll leave my information in the chat box if you happen to have any additional questions, and looking forward to the Q&A at the end.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You were right on time as well. We are moving right along. And then up next, we do have Marymount, California University.
Hello, everyone. Are you able to see my screen in the presentation, just to make sure?
Yes, you are good to go.
Perfect. So thank you for your time. It's nice to meet all of you. My name is Armando Mendez. I am the Assistant Director of International and Transfer Admissions at Marymount, California University. Marymount, if you're not aware of Marymount, we're an extremely small university. We were originally an all-girls Catholic high school, and then we were sister schools with Loyola Marymount, which you might have heard of. We were the 2-year transfer school where students would come to us for 2 years, learn how to become academic, independent, be able to time manage, do better in school in order to transfer into Loyola Marymount. And then in 2010, we became an independent university, and now we offer 4-year bachelor degrees as well as a master's degree. We're located in Rancho Palos Verdes, which is in Los Angeles. We overlook Catalina Island, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous small university for people who are looking for small schools in Los Angeles. If you were to look at a map of the city of Los Angeles, we're located in South Bay, right on this mountain here called Rancho Palos Verdes, about 30 minutes from downtown LA, 20 minutes from LAX, and about 30 minutes from Anaheim or Disneyland. At our university, what we're known for is, first of all, we are Catholic by tradition. About 50% of our students identify as Catholic, but it is not a requirement at all. You don't have to take any specific courses or be Catholic yourself. We welcome students of all faiths and backgrounds. But the main reason people attend Marymount has to do with our size and how much attention we give to each individual student. We're currently at about 600 students. So every class that we have is on average about less than 15 students per class, which means that you're going to get to know your professors extremely well. People are going to know who you are every time you walk into an office to talk to them. It's for people who either need or want a lot more attention and want to be in a beautiful setting where people are going to actually know who they are and help them through this process. We do a fantastic job of making sure that all students do well in school. And we offer them services like absolutely free tutoring. So if you want to tutor every single day one-on-one with someone, you can get that extra help every single day for free. And we do a great job of helping our students also prepare for what comes after college, which is something that we feel most universities need to do a little bit better job at, because a lot of students end up graduating and not being prepared for either graduate school or law school or for working. So that's kind of our strengths and what we do well. The main reasons you should choose Marymount really is because, again, if you want to live in Los Angeles, if you want to live in the city but not be in downtown and live somewhere beautiful outside of it where you're going to get a lot of attention and detail to what you're doing and what you want to do with your career, we're a fantastic school for you. We believe in a saying that says small means more, which really means that if you attend our university, you're going to get more one-on-one help, you're going to get more resources, you're not going to have to fight for job opportunities or for people's attention when you need help with something, which is something really nice. And at our university, we also really focus on making sure that our students leave with the experience they need to be successful in the fields that they want to go into. So about 80% of our students before they get to their senior year have already worked in the industry they plan to work in the future. So they have the experience, the network, the LinkedIn profile, the resume, everything they need to be successful. And a lot of students go from an internship opportunity to the first real-time job when they graduate. So we do a fantastic job. And it has to do, again, with the fact that we're only trying to supply jobs and internships for 600 students as opposed to a much bigger university. We guarantee a finish in 4. Again, we've always traditionally been really well at helping students become better students. So the average student that comes to Marymount graduates with a much higher GPA than they came to us with. And the average student comes to us with about a 3.0 GPA. So you can expect to hopefully be an honor student by the time you leave, if you're close to that when you come in to the university. We feel that location is very important. We offer the benefit of being able to be in a very natural setting where you're by the ocean, kind of isolated from the city, but in just 20, 30 minutes, you can get to anywhere you need to in Los Angeles, and it's very convenient. Again, small means more. A little bit about the majors that we offer. Because we're such a small school, we only really offer about 9 different concentrations, the biggest of which being business, but after that would be psychology, biology, and criminal justice. But within these different fields, there are more concentrations. So for instance, for business, that is our most populated degree. It's about 33% of our population. You can study business and be an emphasis in financing or accounting, entrepreneurship, management, sports management, marketing. So there's just a lot of different concentrations within each field. But business is our number 1. And in addition to having all these undergraduate bachelor degrees, we also offer a 1-year MBA program for students who graduate from our school. So in just 1 extra year, 5 years total, you would get your associate's degree in 2, your bachelor's degree in 4, and then your master's degree in just 1 more. So 3 degrees in 5 years. And we do offer every single student an associate's degree after their 2nd year, because we want you to make a decision at that point whether or not you want to stay at MCU and finish your bachelor's, or if at that point you're much more prepared to go on to your next school that's going to be bigger if you've grown out of MCU a little bit and are ready for, you know, a USC or a Pepperdine or a Loyola kind of school. Most universities don't do that, but we do, because we really want to do what's best for you. And after 2 years, if you have your associates, you just have more options. Or you could decide to stay at MCU for all 4 years if you choose to, which most students do. 90% of our students receive some form of financial aid. Most of them, on average, receive about $21,000. Tuition's around $36,000 a year. So as long as you're a good student and you do your part and you write a good letter of recommendation and you have what you need, we can probably help you get into school and try to help it make more financial sense for you. So even though we are a private school, we're a little bit closer to the cost of public university. And lastly, just really quickly, admission requirements. We are test optional, so you don't require SAT or ACT, but if you have those test scores, we'd love to see them. We might even offer you a little bit more aid, but it's optional. Application, high school transcripts, and a personal statement or video is what we need. But thank you for your time, and I hope to see you guys soon. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And thank you all to our panelists. We do have some time for one more question. So if my panelists want to come back on and we can go in the same order that we did, I'll go ahead and share a question for our, let's see here. I'll go ahead and share this last question for our attendees to see. It is, what is one myth that you would like to debunk about the college admissions process? And we can just start right from the beginning.
Yeah, I think this is a great question. So thank you for asking it. Honestly, I think that there is a certain prescriptive thing that we want to hear. We just want to hear your voice coming through in this process. Every institution is going to be looking for something different. What my application process looks like at Chapman is going to be different than the colleagues that are on here. So just staying true to yourself and telling that story rather than feeling like you have to follow something so prescriptive.
So a big thing that I always hear and that I always wish students did more of is like reach out and ask questions, because it's often like the day of our deadline that students will call and panic and ask questions because they feel like we are unreachable, that we are not here to like help them, or that we're, you know, keeping like the gatekeepers of the university. We're very much here to help all students find the right fit, whether it be our school or another school, but we're here to help as much as we can. We're available via email, phone, like we're really here. We do this work because we love to do it. And I've been doing this for years and I really love hearing student stories. So feel free to reach out always. I always say if it takes you longer than like 10 minutes to find something on the website, just reach out to one of us, we'll find it faster.
I think for me, what I would say is that, I think this is something I definitely struggled with, is that if I hadn't heard of an institution, then it wasn't a good institution. I think it's pretty surprising when you find like how many colleges there are and how many great fits you might have with more than one school. So not immediately shutting out a school and just really diving in, and you'd be surprised what you like. So.
To add what my colleagues have been sharing, I would say that you should never write off a school based on its price. I know that sticker shock is always very, very shocking, but go through the process, apply for it, financial aid. As all of our colleagues had mentioned this afternoon, there's always opportunities for scholarships. So trust the process is what I would recommend.
Adding on to such great statements, I would say it was definitely debunking that the essays and supplements can't make a difference. I think that when it comes to supplements, that's sometimes my favorite part of the application and tells us something new that we wouldn't otherwise know. So I think for any of the seniors or for the parents, they're thinking their students are writing too many supplemental essays, like truly those are the ones that can really just share new information that we really appreciate in the admissions process. So definitely the supplements can be very important.
Yeah, and I would just share that one of the biggest myths I come across is that you should primarily choose a school based on like something like ranking or based on how rigorous it is to get into the university, which is sometimes true, but really every single student has different needs and wants. So the right university for you is not necessarily going to be the right university for someone else. That's why it's so important to visit schools and to try to get information, because you'd be surprised how much a university you might have never heard of is going to be the right size and the right location, offer the right amount of help, offer a program you didn't even know you were interested in. Keep in mind the average student that goes to college changes their major twice. So if you went to school for a specific degree at a specific school and that changes, you might find yourself at the wrong university. So try to find the right school first and then kind of go from there, would be a myth.
Awesome. Thank you all for sharing. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you to our panelists and also our attendees. Please don't forget that after you close this window, a very quick 5-question survey will appear, and we always welcome all of your feedback. There are more sessions available on our website as well, and this recording will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will see you next time.